Hello and welcome to the Beauty Know-It-All. I'm very excited. I've got one of my skincare gurus, and I don't have many of them, even after 25 years in the beauty industry. This is Paula Begoun, founder of Paula's Choice, somebody I grew up reading and devouring every single word she's ever written about skincare.
Oh my.
And formulating products. There is not a week that goes by when I don't recommend one of her products to one of my followers or my subscribers on YouTube or Instagram.
What an honor. Thank you so
Welcome
much.
to London.
Thank you, sweetie.
We were just saying it's very interesting that you were always one of my resources. In fact, I think you might have been the first resource that was available to consumers, which is basically about busting skincare myths. And as a journalist, and a young journalist, that was priceless to me. So instead of having to go to a doctor or a dermatologist, I mean, you can never find a dermatologist in the UK anyway, I could literally almost go, what does Paula say about this?
Actually, some of my work started because the information from dermatologists wasn't working for me either. So I started out with acne, very bad acne, and eczema. In fact, I hit 11 years old, I get my period, I'm past puberty, now I'm full on into puberty, and acne came with it, and I had terrible eczema. And by the age of 20, I must have been to over a dozen dermatologists. I still had acne, I still had eczema. The cosmetic counters were worse. So that's really what started. First, my search was just for me. I just wanted to know. I had chemistry, access to medical libraries. So it started out as a personal search. And I mean, to this day, I am still shocked at the just bad, misleading, wrong information on the internet. Although on occasion, I have to say my ego, I'm going to brag a bit here, when I do see right information, I thought, I think they copied that from my website. That sounds awfully familiar. I think I wrote it.
Some of the most common things that I say when I speak to my followers about how to buy proper skincare and little things like I did an at-home with my bathroom shelf, and I'll go, you won't really find many tubs here. Everything's in an airtight container because that's what Paula told me to buy.
Brilliant.
Right, let's start. Let's bust some skincare myths.
Yes, please, sorry.
What's the single most common skincare mistake that women make?
They believe natural, one. Or two.
Well,
Let's do two.
Yeah.
Let's do two. Two of the big ones. One is that natural and organic is better than synthetic or chemical. Chemical and synthetic have very negative terms. I would rather women think of synthetic and chemical as designer ingredients. When they adapt ingredients, some of those are actually the more potent, more gentle ones. And there are a ton of natural and organic ingredients that are just bad for skin. Citruses, lavender, the fragrance, whether it's natural or synthetic, essential oils, they are just bad for skin. They break down collagen, they cause irritation, on and on and on. So that belief that natural and organic is better is just false. Then the second thing is that expensive means better. Now that's a little bit less these days than it was in the past, but I still see women dropping pounds and pounds and pounds on products. Some of them are good, but the point is that you can find good, excellent, better ones that are less expensive, and then the worst is when they're bad and they come in jars and they contain fragrance and so those would be two of the biggest. But yeah, I could go on. But those are two of the biggest.
And what's the single most important thing you can do for your skin?
Sunscreen. Sunscreen. And I know all of my UK lovely people and my Europeans, I know August is going to come around, your 5 days of summer are going to show up, and you're going to run outside half naked and think, well, it's just August, well, it's not so bad. And what I'm here to tell you is not only is it bad, it is, by many standards, by a lot of research, about 80% of what you are going to hate about your skin is that it comes from the sun, is about sun damage. So sun protection, SPF 30 or greater. A personal preference is that it be mineral-based, but any base, I don't care. Some people don't like mineral-based because it leaves a whitish kind of cast, or it's thick and heavy.
It's getting better though, isn't it?
But it's still, titanium dioxide and zinc oxide they're heavy ingredients. But yes, they nanoparticle them. I know everybody's a little afraid of that word nanoparticle, but they're not so small that they go into the bloodstream. People get afraid of these words because if it went too deep, then it wouldn't get an SPF rating. It's still staying in the surface layers of skin.
before we started filming, we were just chatting, and that's one of the biggest myths, isn't it? Is that for skincare, I always say it's really annoying because I think beauty can't win either way. So you've got the natural brigade saying you can't put anything on your skin that you wouldn't eat because it gets into your bloodstream, and then you've got the critics of anti-aging saying nothing penetrates the skin at all. It's like the beauty industry can't win, but actually the target is not to penetrate right into the skin.
Not not everything. So, here's what makes for brilliant skincare. Brilliant skincare. Skin is in layers, and you have the top layers, the middle layers, and the lower layers. And a brilliant product. First of all, skincare ingredients love absorbing. They love absorbing. You don't have to worry about it. The issue is that depending on the ingredient, you want some on the surface, or you're not going to get protection from the sun or from dehydration
on the surface.
And the hydrating ingredients and the silky soft emollients. And for my skin, the very lightweight, you can't feel it protection. And then you want to have hydrating, like hyaluronic acid, and the ceramides go a little deeper, but not so deep that you don't get them in the layers of skin where you need them. And then the antioxidants that protect from pollution really absolutely change how skin cells work, go a little deeper, and then you have the skin restoring ingredients. Those are ingredients like niacinamide, vitamin C, retinol, vitamin A, that need to go a little deeper. That's what makes for a great skincare product. Not that everything absorbs into the skin, and you can stop worrying about absorbing. Skincare ingredients, depending on their molecular size, go beautifully into skin. They don't get occluded. They go in nicely. That's what makes for great skincare.
You mentioned earlier on you're launching your C15 booster into the UK.
Yes.
And I was saying, I would just put it straight onto my skin, and you say, I would too. Because people, when they mix things in their hands, the problem is it goes into the palms.
Right, I don't want to waste a thing.
You know when people do this for ages, don't they? You're like, whoa.
Now, if you wanted to do that, at least do it on the back of your hand where those ingredients would benefit there, because I never let a drop go to waste.
No, I always finish with on the back of my hand.
I always finish a little bit of my chest if there's any extra. In the States, I call them the Girls Up skincare. Mm-hmm. I don't know, do you call is breast Girls Up?
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
So the Girls Up skincare. So whatever you put on your skin, on your face, the chest, neck, face, and then of course the back of the hands, because I am not being an old woman with brown spots. I refuse. It's not going to happen. And so what I do, this is my routine. So I use my skin balancing toner after my skin balancing cleanser, and then I put on my niacinamide booster, 10% niacinamide. Niacinamide is lovely for hydration. Actually, new research about anti-wrinkle, and the big deal in the beginning when we looked at niacinamide was diminishing pore size, which I will struggle with until the day I die. And then I apply my vitamin C, and vitamin C, what it's best known for is improving skin discoloration.
Yes.
And then because I need antioxidant protection, and our serums are loaded with antioxidants, and that's for pollution protection.
Most common skincare problem that you see now, and has it changed?
Well, no, it hasn't, but women complain about, and they will, I don't know, for centuries to come and thousands of years before, is acne and large pores and wrinkles. Who wants them?
Let's talk about the myths around dry skin versus dehydrated skin.
So that's an interesting one. I get why people think that there's a difference. The perception about dry skin is that it is always dry, it always feels tight, it always feels uncomfortable, you don't have pores. And then the notion of dehydrated skin is associated with, well, I have oily skin and I also have flaky skin. As a rule, the issue with dry skin is that it is pervasive. It is all over, the skin feels uncomfortable, and you don't have any oil. And when you use a moisturizer, it actually can
feels
improve.
Comfortable, yes.
Dehydrated skin is almost always caused because a woman is using the wrong skin products for her normal to oily skin. We believe that if you use a lotion or cream, it has more potent ingredients than a liquid or a fluid. I have never in my, I don't know, when did I start using skincare? I'm 64, when I was 11. So I've never put a lotion or cream on my face. It just makes me feel gunky and greasy and clogs pores. And I feel oily, and if the creams and lotions and other ingredients you use because you have oily skin are drying, contain alcohol, witch hazel, irritating ingredients, you're going to dehydrate your skin. The lotions and creams are going to make you feel greasy and oily, or you already have oily skin. So more often than not, the dehydrated skin I see is because somebody with normal to oily combination skin is using products that are dehydrating their skin, causing the dryness.
Alcohol.
Right. Alcohol is a big one. Witch hazel, fragrance just in general dries and destroys.
Irritates.
Oh, for sure. So often it's because of what you're doing to your skin, and it's transient. It can come and go depending on what you're doing. But yeah, that would be the difference between dehydrated skin. You shouldn't have dehydrated skin if you're using the right products. Most people think of exfoliants as scrubs, or the Clarisonic brush, the hard, stiff bristle brush. The problem with scrubs is when they're abrasive, they're tearing into skin, and literally they hurt. Now, Clarisonic did come out with a soft brush, which is just lovely. That's great, because if you destroy the skin, scrub into it, you're just creating more flakes because you're harming, damaging skin.
Is that why you don't have a physical scrub?
That's why we don't have a physical scrub. What we recommend, because it's cheap and I'm a bargain hunter, is I use a soft washcloth twice a day with my cleanser. And it's inexpensive. You just, some people are shocked when I say I don't wash it every day, but I'm lazy. My cleaning lady doesn't come all the time, so I just rinse it out and I'll use it again. And it helps take off all the makeup, especially I wear stubborn makeup. But yeah, the scrub problem is it's very hard to find a gentle scrub. Very, very hard.
When choosing an acid lotion, an acid toner, is the rule salicylic for acne, glycolic for anti-aging?
Well, the nice thing about salicylic acid, and I know that word acid is so scary, the BHA and the AHA is BHA absolutely exfoliates on the surface of the skin, similar to AHA. It also absorbs into the pore to improve pore size, and it has antibacterial activity against the bacteria in the pore that causes acne. So it's a triple header. That's salicylic acid. Yeah. By the way, it also hydrates skin almost immediately.
It's anti-inflammatory.
Scrubs, right? Because if it's association to aspirin, exactly. But it doesn't irritate the skin, even though it has that nasty name acid in it. It's actually incredibly gentle, assuming it doesn't contain any other irritating ingredients. But the thing with AHAs is if you have dry skin, you don't have pores, you don't need that depth of penetration. So AHAs are better for more normal to dry skin. Right, glycolic.
Is there a risk of irritation by layering up the actives though? Is there a risk of irritation if you put high strength vitamin C on with a high strength retinol?
Yes, there is always a risk of irritation when you're using bioactive ingredients. There's no question about it. However, if your product doesn't contain irritating ingredients like fragrance,
alcohol,
exactly, there is no question about it. Retinol in a stable formula, and we use a slow release form of retinol. It is beautiful. It does do amazing things for skin. There is research showing that 1% retinol actually works quite similar to the prescription versions, which is just stunning information. So yeah, if you can, what retinol does is normalize how skin turns over. It doesn't speed it up.
So the chances are, if my skin is peeling because I'm using a retinol or retinol, it's because it's trying to undo all the sun damage I've done from the 70s and 80s.
It's because you're using it too frequently. Yeah. So you really shouldn't see the flaking.
Okay.
It really is about making skin behave like it did when you were younger, making those cells more normalized. And when it was normal and not sun damaged and not older, it didn't peel, and that's what retinol is doing. So if it's peeling, it's because one, like me, you're allergic to it, or two, you're using too much and you need to go every other day or once a day or every 2 days.
I think it's that thing of thinking this is good. I've been told this is good for my skin. I'm just going to layer it on.
If a little is good, a lot is better. And then you use more than one version of retinol, and you're using, you find some company that says theirs contain 2 or 3%, and you think, well, that must be the better one. It can be for advanced signs of sun damage, but it can also cause more risk of irritation and flaking. Flaking is not the response from a well-formulated retinol product. that you're using based on your skin type, which means you might have to alternate days, once a day, once every 2 days, or like me, you try to sneak it in once a week so I can get the benefit of retinol, and because it really is one of those stunning hero skincare ingredients.
It is, isn't it? The worst thing you can put on your skin?
Irritating ingredients by far.
So-
Alcohol, witch hazel, the citruses. You know, people often say to me, you know, and forgive me if I'm being a bit glib here, they'll go, well, Paula said it's irritating, but I don't see any irritation. And the issue is that skin keeps irritation and inflammation a secret. You don't, in fact, you rarely see the irritation you're causing your skin, or you don't recognize it as irritating.
Do you not use a single fragrant product on your skin
never.
at all? Not even on your legs?
Not in 24 years,
Wow.
since I started Paula's Choice.
One of the rules, which I think is a good one to end with now, which I always take from you, is treat all skincare as if it's sensitive. All skin type as if it's sensitive.
Everybody's skin is sensitive.
Yes.
Pollution, sun damage, skincare products, your boyfriend, your husband, your kids. Life is stressful. Everybody reacts. So yes, you have to treat your skin as if it's sensitive. Irritation kills everybody's skin.
Thank you so much, Paula.
Have we talked too long?
We have talked too long, but I could
keep
keep talking all day. Now you know
Yeah.
why she is one of my all-time beauty gurus.
Thank you.
I adore her. I really love her products. I regularly recommend them. Any questions below? I can't guarantee Paula will be around to answer them, but I will try my best using Paula's principles because I believe they work. Thank you so much for subscribing. Any questions, please ask below. I'll put the details of Paula's regime below with the links of where you can buy them as well. Paula Begoun, everybody. Thank you.
God bless. Thank you.